Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Frances. I'm an advisor in the College of Engineering here at UC Santa Barbara. And today we will go over the guide to assist.org. We'll discuss what is assist.org and how do you use it. So first and foremost, assist.org is a published articulation agreement used to list the pre-approved courses that will transfer between the California Community College and, in this case, UC Santa Barbara. Now, when you use assist, you'll notice in the other institutions that all of the CSUs and all of the UCs are listed. And so just a reminder, this is not designed to show what will transfer between the CSU and the UC system, or even between UC to UC, but rather only from the community college back to one of those other institutions. You can use it to look by major, by department, by GE, or just to find transferable units, meaning, can I get credit for this class and have it apply to the minimum units to graduate? The nice thing about this is that there is some assurance that if you choose a class that's published on assist.org, the course will transfer and it will apply to the degree requirements based on what's published in assist.org. That means no petitions are required. You might be wondering then, why would you consider taking classes at a community college if you're already attending UCSB? And it is certainly not required. It's not gridded for you. If you look at your grids in gear, you'll notice that it's only fall, winter, spring. But summer school, which is primarily when students would take courses at the community college, can be helpful if you're looking to perhaps lighten future loads. If you look ahead on grid, some quarters are 16 to 17 units. And so taking classes in the summer at the CC might help lighten those future loads. It certainly could be helpful if you are planning a major, a second major, or perhaps a minor. You may want to alleviate some of the stress in the future. And obviously, it's a great way to explore other disciplines. Not only do sometimes the community college offer courses that we don't offer here at UC Santa Barbara, but also sometimes courses that are a bit more restricted here at UCSB, you might have access to at the community college. If you have questions about whether or not you should consider taking courses at the CC, please feel free to check in with an advisor with the College of Engineering so we can discuss your plans. As I mentioned, the most common time to do so would be the summer. You can actually simultaneously attend a community college during the academic year while attended at UCSB. But if this is your plan, please speak with an advisor in engineering first. We want to discuss your goals and make sure that this is going to be the best way to move forward based on what you're trying to accomplish. As far as actual signups go, most of them will have an online application that you'll need to fill out at the community college. You might need to provide them with your UCSB transcripts to verify that you've met prerequisites, and any and all enrollment questions should actually go back to the community college since you'll actually be applying to their system. As far as exploring the articulation agreement assist.org, I'm going to kind of keep this up live and we'll do it together. You would start with the community college first. So in this case, I'm just going to choose Santa Barbara City College because it's close to us. You can see the academic year is currently populated for this academic year, and we're going to select UC Santa Barbara from the list to kind of start the agreement. And then we can hit view agreements, and we can see that we have options to view by major. And so this, and I'm going to just select computer science here to match the screen. This will populate with an agreement that will show up in the report. And basically, this will show all of the preparation courses in the major selected. And this means including those outside of the major discipline. So for example, you can see that not only are there computer science classes, but also the required UCSB math and physics courses. And if there's an equivalent at the community college, it will be listed directly across. And so you might use the by major tab if perhaps you wanted to work on a major course this summer, you're not sure which one, and so you wanted to just see what selection the community college offers for the summer. Now, I will say this is not quarter specific. These are just the agreements. You still have to go to the community college schedule of classes and see what they're offering in a particular term. Sometimes it is a very clear one-to-one articulation. So for example, if we look here at Physics 1, UCSB Physics 1 this is Santa Barbara City College, Physics 121, one course to one course, but that's not the case for all courses. And so if we happen to look down here at Comp Sci 24, you'll notice at this particular institution, it actually requires 2 classes at the community college to cover the content of our one Computer Science 24. Some of it, like I said, is more straightforward. Comp Sci 40 is their CS 108, but do note, like I said, not all of them have a straight one-to-one articulation. Now, sometimes students, you may know that you want to look by a particular department. You may want to see you want to take math, and so you want to see what they offer in terms of math. And so you would just select by department, find the math department, and view agreement. Now, one thing to note about this is this will list all of the UCSB lower division math courses, and if there's an equivalent at the CC, it will be directly across. I say this just as a notation because, for example, engineers don't take math 34A and 34B. That's not part of your curriculum, but you'll notice that these are on here because, again, this is a record of all lower division math courses that we offer at UCSB and the equivalents at the City College. While it can be tempting to use this feature to try to find general education, to kind of reverse engineer general education, perhaps you look at Asian American 2, and you know that that counts for GE here at UCSB, and so you want to look at the Asian American Studies department and find the equivalent at the community college. Sometimes there are some odd surprises there, and so I strongly recommend that you don't use the by department feature to try to reverse engineer GE, because there is a feature for general education. You drop down menu to general education breadth. Do make sure that you're choosing the College of Engineering from there. And sometimes this one takes a minute to refresh. So we'll go ahead and let that happen here. Excuse me. There it is, College of Engineering General Education, and you can see the agreement. So what follows then is a list of the areas A through G and the special subjects. And this again is not quarter specific, so you would need to check the schedule of classes at the community college. But what follows, as I said, is a list of courses that if you take them, they will automatically transfer and apply to that general education category, and no petition is necessary. You can complete GE area A1 and A2 at the community college if the entry-level writing requirement has already been satisfied. If you're not sure, come check in with an advisor. Just like at UCSB, if a course appears in one of the area D through G categories and shows up in a special subject requirement, it is okay for it to apply to both. That sort of overlap is permissible. However, just like at UCSB, if you find a course listed in more than one D through G category, it's meant to be understood as an or. So it will apply to area E or area G, but not both of them. Do note you cannot complete special subject writing requirements with courses taken outside of UCSB, so that you will not find any of them on this report. Again, very easy. You have some assurance that the course will apply after you take it without having to petition. One other thing I will note, one other feature on here is just strictly looking for UC transferable courses. So if you're using the other 3 features by department, by major, or GE, if you find courses on there, that means they are UC transferable, as long as it's not a duplicate of something you've already completed at UCSB. But you might find that the community college actually has some departments that we don't offer here at UCSB, and you might want to see if the course can transfer for unit credit only. And that's actually where, instead of coming down here, you're actually going to look at this transferable courses link and choose UC transferable courses. And you can view the list. And that's where you'll notice, like, for example, Santa Barbara City College has a Administration of Justice, Alcohol and Drug Counseling, American Sign Language departments, a Business Administration department. Those are departments that we don't have here, but it is possible that some of those courses are transferable. And so you could click on that and view the course list. Now, this actually dumps the list for all transferable courses by department. So I'm just going to pick Administration of Justice, and you'll notice that this selection of courses, if it appears on here, it is UC transferable. transferable. Now, there may be more than this selection of courses at the City College, but only these administration of justice courses are transferable for UC credit. So now we'll kind of jump back to, now that we know how to use the tools, what do you do after you've decided to go to the community college? You've looked up and made sure they have the courses that you want, you know how they'll transfer, they're offering it in the term that you're planning on taking it. Again, fill out the application. Once you've completed the course, make sure to send your official transcripts to UCSB's Office of Admissions once your grades are reported. That's how that's how UCSB will be notified that you've taken the class. Do allow several weeks for the credit to be issued. Admissions has a lot of evals to do. If you're taking something in the summer, that is a prerequisite to a fall quarter class that you're trying to sign up for and say pass 3, you might need to show the department that offers the class at UCSB your unofficial transcripts so they can consider clearing you for meeting the prereqs, because those admissions evals will take several weeks. Now, once credit is officially awarded, you don't need to petition to apply it to your major or your GE as long as you've chosen based on assist.org. Some final reminders. As you already saw, some courses, again, are not a one-to-one articulation. This is particularly true of our UCSB Physics 2. It frequently is more than one course at the community college. Interestingly enough, Math 6A and 6B often is covered by one semester course at the CC. General chemistry is quite often a series to series articulation, which means that the content of our Chem 1 ABC is taught at the community college, but it's mixed up in such a way that you really have to take all the community college courses to cover all of our content. And so that means if you're trying to find something like Chem 1B, it can be particularly difficult to find just that one class. If you're doing summer session at a semester school, frequently those sessions will start while UCSB spring quarter is still in session. So do keep that in mind as far as managing your workload and managing finals. Very important, GPA will not transfer. You can earn units and subject credits, but the grades will show on your community college transcript, but they will not be recalculated into the UC GPA. For this reason, please do not try to repeat courses at the community college because it will not impact your GPA. For that matter, don't try to take courses at the CC that you've already taken here anyway, because we can't give you credit if you already have credit for it at UCSB. As I mentioned before, you cannot complete the special subject writing requirement with classes outside of UC Santa Barbara, and the two community colleges are 2-year colleges, so there is no upper division coursework available. If you have questions on the content of this presentation, or if this leads to other questions about your future planning, please check in with an advisor in the College of Engineering. We'd be happy to meet with you and go over this information and more. Thanks very much.